well, for my whole class, I should say, I did a daily Zoom where I did a story and some learning activities with them. And then for my special ed students, I gave them one-on-one time in addition to that. And I think that was probably the most challenging because with our students with special needs, well, first of all, they're missing that human, that human interaction and all the different ways that we prompt them to attend. Some of my students need, physical prompting, to gently help them sit. This is how we sit. This is how we have our hands. This is how we learn, and it's so hard because it's, well, first of all, you're in their house, and then you want to be respectful, of the parents, and you can't exactly replicate a school environment at home. So you're just really trying to get creative with kind of what you present. And students too, like they like even now at school, like they need to see like your mouth, like you're modeling, the phonemic sounds for that. You're modeling, that controlled simple vocabulary. And it's just different than being face to face, or beside them. And again, like, a lot of my students are working on identifying colors, identifying shapes. So I'm on Zoom holding up two shapes, but in person, it's like errorless learning, right? So I'm like, okay, this is pink, this is black, get the pink one. And then we're taking their hands and like prompting them. So now you have to tell the parents, okay, sit in back of them. And I'm going to hold up two things. And meanwhile, you're explaining the directions and they're already off in the other room. So they have to go get them. And bring them back. So it was kind of, I think, just as hard for them as it was, for us. And then when it came time to do progress reports, right? So now we're supposed to legally mark off, the progress on these things that aren't in a school environment. And they're written obviously for the school environment. So then our district had to come up with a whole different grading system per se. So based on parent report, blah, 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 or based on teacher observation, blah, 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 or not observed, and then there's the whole social and emotional goals, right? That they're working on. Cooperative play, you're home with your siblings, turn taking, we tried it with me back and forth. You can't throw a ball. You can't do a puzzle together, sharing pieces. Parallel playing side by side. Sometimes we get creative and use siblings, but again, it was different because you really couldn't, meet those objectives in a virtual type of environment.